Welcome back, everybody. We are jumping into the top 4 of the GenCon 2022 Regional License Exam. We just walked away from an incredibly intricate game between two going late decks, and I think this time around, Tam, we are getting just the opposite.
Absolutely. Two characters that have sat down to play a good 20-minute match of My Hero the way God intended. We get 10 minutes for game 1, 10 minutes for game 2, and it's over. We've got Life Asui piloted by Ryan Field, and then we have Good Jiro piloted by River Cook. I'm excited to see how these two players decide to navigate the matchups with both of them, really going for the throat as early as turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, if we can compare the last match to a very chess style game, tactical, take small little advantages here and there. The difference here is that we have two players holding magnums point to point at each other. It's just who's going to shoot first,
right.
And how do you mitigate that? So it'll be really interesting to see. Jiro leaning a bit more combo oriented, so needing to find the hand that'll get her there. Whereas also just did I see enough orange and just going with it. So
did I build 5? All right, we'll play 5.
Yeah. So super exciting to see what's about to happen here. And I'm looking forward to us jumping right into the matchup.
So it looks like Asui got top seed, which is incredible for her. As soon as she can, we'll know how potent this is as soon as we see our opening build.
Yeah, Asui going first is exactly what it wants to do. Especially when you're in a position where if you win. What were you lining up to see if it was gonna be 2 amphibious or 3 amphibious? Because if Asui is able to take this down, it guarantees at least a game 3 turn 1, which is very, very huge.
Yeah, build 5 on turn 1, including tight lips, an amphibious. We have preparing for battle to draw more cards. This 27 is going to fall flat very, very quickly. Jiro building back also with the same energy, a bunch of 1-diffs. It tells you the idea and how to play aggressive, right? We had another build.
Oh my!
1-diffs. You can tell kind of what you're getting into playstyle wise when you look at the opening build, and we had a 1, a 1, a 1, a 0, 0, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
Right? There's no 3s to possibly draw 2 of them and maybe fail a check. It was I have to play as many spam or 0-1s as possible so I can get the game.
Oh yeah, both of these decks saying, I want to see and play every foundation on my hand in turn 1, and after that is all orange.
Right.
And I want to make sure that I pass every single one of these.
It is interesting because Jiro's hand is deceptively large right now, so we do get to peek at the top 2 of both players' decks, getting the stack, and Asui has a really heavy attack count, so we're going to be checking a lot of stacking and checking a lot of orange cards. But Jiro has double destined for mainstream success. If the cards on top of their deck that she peeks is good, then she can just declare what they are and lift them and have 4 cards in hand, right? We saw how good commit character, commit foundation, draw 2 was in All Might last round. Imagine just flip 2 foundations and draw. It's very good. From here, got a tongue smack coming in, checking a frog lashing, or frog kick, excuse me. This feels good. Commit in order to kick, give it a 2 speed. Opting not to look.
Just doing it blind.
Doing it blind.
Blind. When you just know, you know.
When you know, you know. Yeah, they got it in the bag. Currently at 6 for 6, it's going to draw a card, re-ready back up for Amphibious. It feels great.
Yeah, it's exactly where you want to be. This is just textbook. But like you said, River having the opportunity here to really stress Ryan in the fact that you can force Ryan, depending on how the top of the deck looks, to keep on checking rolling 3s.
Right.
That's a position where even though Asui isn't really playing with progressive difficulty, still in a position to just, force checks and have to commit resources to be able to continue the aggression.
And more importantly, if Asui commits to this kill turn, checks a couple 3s, decides to try and commit up for it, and doesn't get there, it says that there's 0 chance for defense, and doing 20 inside of Jiro, wakes up and does it in the morning.
Yeah. Everything gets a stat boost off base. Everything gets +1/+1, +2/+2, and the attacks are effectively become unblockable. So
right. River, go ahead and subscribe to the idea of you either block them all or block none of them. Opting to block none of them.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, no one knows. I mean, besides maybe Nomu players, but very few players do I know how to face tank more than Jiro players.
Right.
It's astonishing, really.
Second Amphibious and third Tight-Lipped coming down onto the board. Momo. Sorry, I was talking all last match about Momo. Asui with 4 cards in hand. Jiro now trying to figure out what kind of offensive attack lineup can I possibly have. 6 ready foundations, including the character. So a deceptive amount of foundations if we so choose. But the big thing here is the more we decide to commit Asui and ready them on defense, the less potent our offensive play is, because we need our face-up foundations to fuel our machine gun of attacks.
Yeah, and this transition over into good Jiro has been very interesting. You know, like foregoing a lot of the strong combo stringiness of the air build, but I mean, you get so many consistency pieces, right?
Right.
Your unwavering allows you to be able to effectively draw twice from your passing the torches. You get to have stronger singular value on cards than having to make sure that a string of cards altogether bring the full picture.
Right. Makes sense. And I love how River is using his hand over in the top right corner. They're just like, hey, these are the I don't have to worry about any of these. We'll get to them when we get to them. Right?
Yeah.
Fiddle around.
I think I'll you know, I'm not worried about that. They've just
about this, haymaker.
They're just committed to like this is my plan right now. We can worry about that once I'm done.
Stun 2, 6 damage, 4 mid. I mean, where Asui had to like slam 2 attacks to get us down here. If this connects, River's just gonna be winning the game at the moment, right? It's gonna be 15-16.
Yeah.
But choosing to go for the partial block with the frog kick, but that was expected, right? We knew that River got to stack the deck. Jiro, you know, being a scouting hero, takes the 3, and then if we decide to throw in another attack, Asui gets to ready 3 foundations, unless of course they don't get.
I mean, unless you don't get the enhanced step and then forget about it. Just right to blocks.
4 low for 6. Checks another 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, now is it open field?
We've committed 1 foundation in order to play our moves.
Open field on Ryan Field?
This is crazy. Does like Cannon Blast win the game here?
No.
4?
Looks like, well, actually, in Jiro, you never know. You could be stacking a couple, but to kind of like supercharge an attack. However, I don't believe that's what River's lining up here. All right, gonna leave it at a presumably, build 3, 1 into momentum, and then the other goes. You know, I think, you know, really hot take, never heard anyone say this before. I think they misrarity'd Haymaker. That should have been a common.
Should have been a common.
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, half the best cards in the game are commons. Might as well keep up the theme.
Yeah. You know, we got Haymakers, common, jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have. I mean, Haymaker promo would have been
right.
blow up, right? Asui opting to free pass once again. Hold 4, have the entire stage ready. We've got a ton of filter. We've got good blocks. Kind of asking Jiro, yo, can you overcommit a little bit while I fish these blocks out? Maybe go to like, I don't know, 2, 3 health, and then I'll slam back for 16 quick ones. And so kind of the onus is now on Jiro of, do you want to take the lead attacking wise? Because I mean, River went second, which means this is the now second or third turn of attacking, and as opposed to normally first player gets to do it, now it's second.
Yep.
You follow me?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Talked in circles and was like, what did I say it all?
Yeah, I think it lined out. Yeah.
Unwavering Slash coming in. I don't think we've seen any assets.
I don't believe so, no.
Checked. Unfortunate, really. But It's possible. I mean, I've seen some Jiro decks play Unwavering, and even though like it's good, like I just don't play the assets.
Yeah,
I mean, it being both a weapon and a charge.
that is the thing, right?
Just 6 mid for 6, just kind of coming in for free, huh?
Yeah, late in the game, it comes in at like, you know, base 6/6, 7/7, 8/8, and
Right.
I mean, that's just good in its own right.
Agreed. As we see, I love seeing go for the win in a top cut deck. A top 4 deck is running go for the win. How cool! How cool! Form, destroy a foundation. If I have less foundations than you, build the top 2 cards of my deck. Man, I guess I committed all these resources in order to try and kill you, and I'm too short. Well, let me go find those 2. Not to mention, it triggers on our turn the ability for small and limber, and we can quickly get out of the foundation lead with things like self-sacrifice. So not only are we getting more damage, but I have less foundations. I get to then rebuild my stuff back. It's very, very cool.
In the tank here, and okay, we did.
Oh, we
all
did
right,
get
all right. So there's the headphone jack.
It is commit ready and then redraw. Jiro being able to scout, and then so hey, this is the one that I want. Oh look, hey, it's an attack.
How nice.
Pretty good.
How cool. How neat.
How neat. Flip. It is not an attack. That's okay. We want the good check anyways. Do we pass it? This is only for 6 damage. We would go down to 11. Is 6 damage worth 4 foundations? What's the exchange rate, do you think? Damn it.
Against Jiro?
On the first move?
Yeah, that's true.
Stun 4?
Stun 4 to be blocked?
Yeah.
Yikes. Huh.
And it's not even an attack that we can kick out to re-ready the amphibiouses. Like we could talk if it was the 2 face downs of 2 amphibiouses. We use Asui, kick the card,
right?
The amphibious.
But it's
that's fine. But man,
and you know there's at least one attack coming through again afterwards.
and it's the
Yeah, that's it. No, we're just gonna take it. What are you? Are you a 90-degree type of guy to indicate that this card did damage? You have just like, you know, Messiah level memory, and you just know for sure.
I'm a 45.
Yeah, 45. You're a 45er.
Yeah. Cards that I've reused in my stage, they go upside
down.
And if they've like been re-readied, I'll re-ready them upside down. I'll keep them on the other side of my face down foundation, so I'll segregate them whenever necessary.
I'm telling you, clean board states is an art.
Yeah.
You can always tell. All right, Haymaker on the follow-up. The rare that should have been a common.
Correct. Give them away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody should.
Why not? Yeah.
Commit, discard, and then redraw. I mean, this is just showing us, hey, we do not have a mid, which is. All right, I'm gonna talk for a bit. I think Set 2 has some of the best mid attacks that I've ever seen in not just my hero, but in universes as a whole.
Oh yeah.
Like all mono mid decks just get there. It's because of how potent the highs and lows are.
Yeah.
Right? So as like you're going into it, you like hold a bunch of highs and lows because oh my goodness. Tongue whip is insane. Oh my goodness, frog lashing insane. I'm gonna get blown out by a cannon, and then you're just like, hey, I'll unwavering into back alley haymaker. Like, I guess I'll partial block both of these. Oh,
yay! And proceed to Crone Frog block in 2 or 3.
I love that answer. I think the Crone Frog block is good. We are going to get a chance to. Interesting that we just commit the excited blood. I mean, we have to block this. We're not allowed to not block this.
Unless we're feeling extremely bold.
Yeah, the reason we block this is so we can ready our amphibiouses.
Right.
and then block one more thing with the encourage a training partner.
Because we do know, I believe it's the capture net still may make its way here.
It easily could, right? Like play a foundation and then play the capture net.
They'll get this. They'll get the additional speed for it, and then
bring him down. And we'll get the stun too to commit back down the amphibiouses.
That looks like we will be paying for it.
Yeah, that is the big thing about the good in life packages right now is we've got back alley haymaker into capture net as just like a bread and butter commit for resources, right? Like on those 2 attacks, threatening 9-ish damage. We were casting a Todoroki deck that like loved to do that with giant ice wall. So as long as you can like spare these 2 attacks to get that same point, and they're like. One says either build 1 or draw 1. One says build 1, and then they all say stun 2. Incredible.
All right. Picking on the follow-up. Counting. You know when they're counting foundations. They're cooking up something.
Correct.
So we do know there's at least 1 attack. Could line that up. It would cost them some. But something they have to be careful about these matchups is the crackback. It's all about the crackback.
It is. So we have a deceptive amount of foundations just because, like, if we do decide to hit with something, we get to respond with the earphone jacks and ready to back up a card. So
True.
the fact that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7, 8 foundations.
So here's the 0. That does not mean they're done attack. Yeah.
4.
Here we
6,
go.
7, checks a 3. I think it's okay. 4, 5. Obviously, that one is playable. Committed. 6, 7. Love it.
That's fine. You get to build it down. You get the response. Get the speed. You net 1 by being able to pull down that spam. You get the stun 2.
You do get the stun 2. And it currently is, I mean, it's got +4/+4. It's a 6 low for whatever. So make the speed of the move 4, and then you pass. You then kick, and then you proceed to ready back up your double amphibious. And we got every enhance that we wanted to out of the way. To the point where maybe even saving the stun 2 until they had one of the amphibious back ready might have been the right call, right?
As opposed to like, okay, I see where. Yeah.
Otherwise, like if you pass and they keep the 1 face down ready, then like they just chose not to play the amphibious, right? So they pass, you weren't,
and then they got the 1 that they weren't gonna have anyways. Right. Yeah.
As well as Asui's committed. And so right now we're going in with 3 ready foundations or resources as opposed to just the 1 because of trying to wait for some sequencing.
Yep.
All right, that is like a prime case, a prime example of you don't have to press every button.
But boy, do I love pressing buttons.
It's a 9 damage move. It is a 4 low for 9. Incredibly blockable because we have the 3 ready resources.
Yeah. Question here being, does Asui face tank to try and crack back? Which even then, River's got a decent amount of resources to be able to defend. I mean, we've got the splashes there, slow things down. We've got a hand of 3 if they opt to stop here. Got Jiro to make some of your checks bad.
Man, Canon says we lose. Like if that just happens, we lose. Like the only way that we don't lose 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Even with checking a 3 here, whether we block or not, it's just over.
All right, so
5.
Are we going to use? Looks like we're using earphone jack to get ourselves. Yes, no, maybe. They had reached out for it. I don't know.
We will see. Ops to take the damage.
Yep.
I think the answer should be to ready the foundation. Depending on I mean, if you're done attacking, you're obviously ready.
Yeah.
If you still want to attack, I think making sure that, depending on if we're running 2 checks or not, if we check a 3, then we commit everything except for Jiro. Right?
Makes sense to me.
That's better than the 1 speed because we're going to be giving 4 speed anyways, depending on if it has a weapon keyword or not.
Oh.
3,
4,
5, 6.
yeah.
Simple.
Flash, no opportunity to do anything crazy.
Right. The speed, discard the top card.
Get some damage.
3's off the top.
Not incredibly fast though. But you can use the response to be able to stack the top of your deck exactly the way you want it. Yeah. So there's this. What's the draw?
6, 7, 8.
And the draw is another flash attack. Makes sense. Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. Checks a 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is a game. It's over.
Yep.
Show your hand.
Scoop. And that's that.
And then we get to play the next one. This is on an 8. Oh, passes.
We're in the tank. Just making sure. You always got to confirm your lines. Yeah, we know it's checking the 6. Boop, boop.
8.
That's it.
Give it the speed.
Get moving, and that's that.
And we got him at block. There it is.
All right.
Game 1 goes to Jiro, just like a really aggressive line. And that, I mean, Asui had to take turn 2 off, right?
Yeah.
Asui sees that kind of heat on turn 2 as opposed to Jiro on turn 3. Asui finds that heat on turn 3 as opposed to Jiro on turn 3. Different ballgame.
So, I mean, Asui, bit of a slower hand, built up more, spent a bit more time in the back. But I don't know that, Ryan did anything inherently that caused his loss. I think it really just lent itself to the cards that he saw.
Yeah, I think that is true. Maybe we build one more.
Yeah.
So that we can block something we block one more move. But then if we build one, we didn't have the last move. Yeah, I'm not positive what we were allowed to do there.
Yeah.
Because we certainly we had to discard like a floating around my babies in order to commit and then redraw. Maybe even just holding that move as we and attempt to block that on the first one might have been the right move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very hindsight, and certainly that's not going back to a chess term. That's not book.
No,
that's not what you're supposed
no.
to do, right?
Huh?
Yeah, that's not theory.
Maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember you using that word a lot early when we were first chit chatting. The theory. What's that theory say?
Yeah. What's the theory say? What if you ran the simulation a million times, what's the correct move?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's corner cases, outliers, but 99.999% of the time, I'm supposed to make this line here. That's the idea of the theory.
Mm-hmm. So looks like we are boarding in a lot of cards.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody thought Asui was going to be a terror because she is.
Yeah. How much of your deck space do you dedicate to main boarding the most popular deck in the format?
So I look at my decks as pie graphs.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do for multiple decks?
Right.
What's the job? Because every piece of sideboard hate, it falls in the category. Let me bring the audience.
Yeah.
I got 4 big buckets that I put jobs of cards in. Aggro, defense, flow, disruption. 99% of the time, sideboard cards to hate other decks are disruption. Cards, right? If I bring in a bunch of disruption cards, that means my deck does not work as fluidly as I want it to because they're not flow cards.
Yeah.
And so it really has to be an absolute bomb disruption-wise to want to bring it in for a specific matchup. Things like learning the standards. What an insane, crazy disruption piece versus Asui. But it also does some neat disruption versus Hatsume. It doesn't need disruption versus Momo. So like, if an insane disruption card for a single deck doesn't hit this pie chart, this pie graph of a bunch of different characters,
Right.
I normally leave it on the cutting room floor. It's normally in there at first. I'm like, this is a shucks, this is a good card. I just got to get rid of it afterwards because I care more about the consistently consistent. I love flow.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, it's the never-ending battle between tech and consistency.
Correct.
And there's something to say about just making sure that your deck is able to do what your deck does every single game.
Right.
Yeah.
I was playing a different card game in my formative years, playing competitively, and one of the big lessons that I learned was one of the big lessons that I learned was like your deck can be cool and be powerful. But just if it's cool and only powerful for 4 rounds out of 7, then you didn't top cut.
Yeah.
Like you played a really cool 4 rounds, and then the last 3 you lost. So congratulations on 30th. It was top 16.
Right.
And so like being consistently consistent is important, but at the same time, if you're either you have the best deck in the format, like I'll say a name, like this Asui deck that people are saying, like this Momo. So either you're get lucky enough, your deck is consistent enough, and nobody pushes back against you, then yeah, you'll win the whole tournament. But if you can find a deck with enough pushback that can still keep its flow up, then yeah, there's some room for it.
Yeah, I feel that. So, I mean, I'd say the biggest thing, taking it back to the match here, is Jiro is able to flip the table on, who gets first turn priority. So, guaranteeing that going into game 3, regardless of what happens here, will have the opportunity to go first, which is a huge advantage. So, with this table flipped, it's a more of an uphill battle now for Ryan, not only being behind 1, but knowing that this is going to be his last opportunity to be able to start off a game and set the tempo.
Yeah, I mean, the character can do it, right?
Oh, of course.
Both these characters, if you squint your eyes, you're like, oh, they're just doing the exact same thing. They build 5 and kill each other. And the way they kill each other is weird. One has no cards in card pool. One wants as many cards as possible. It's a cool design that way, for sure.
So both players line up here, done sideboarding. We did see a good number of cards coming in from both ends, so both clearly ready for the matchup in its own right.
Yeah, I don't mind players taking their time in between games. I think like I do a lot of I've been doing some coaching in my free time, and one of the big things that I tell people to do when we coach is after you get done with a game or a match, why did you win? Why did they lose? And then vice versa. Why did I lose? Why did they win? And then, like, what was the most impactful play of the game? And then what was the coolest play of the game? And they're probably not the same, right? The most impactful play in the game was, I checked a 6 when I really needed it. The coolest play of the game was, I found a neat loop where I could destroy this, to build this, to put this on top, to secure, like, the next move. Neat. Didn't do much, but it was neat.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
And so, like, taking time in between the games to realign and readjust yourself of, why did I lose? Well, I had to take a turn off. Because I took that turn off, it meant that Jiro got to now press the advantage.
Right.
What do I have to do to fix this? Maybe not go so hard on my first turn and build a second time so that when I decide to go in, it's even crazier.
Yeah.
Like,
makes sense.
Like an option to do.
Yeah. So very a little bit alternative from what we saw in game 1 here. Seeing River build out a bunch of 2s.
Yeah.
So a bit different from the 1 and O spam that we were seeing before. Is the foundation? Oof. I mean, that's probably fine. Yeah, he's just doing it to get it out of his hand.
It's a bonus for
Yeah, I've done it before. So yeah, I will say, is it worth the Jiro commit here for the foundation? You built an additional one for what it's worth.
Yeah, I say yes, because not only did we build that one, but we built one afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. If we failed the one afterwards, you could argue no, but I think the most important thing to do on turn 1
is to build out your whole hand.
I agree.
If
But
they kill you,
then they
Shucks,
kill you.
they
Like
kill you.
it is what it is type
Right.
thing. Well, I understand that. Play for the win, right? Not play
Right.
to not die, but play to put yourself in a position for victory. And if you're able to survive through this turn of their barrage, then you're able to get there.
Correct.
That's fair. I feel that. I feel that.
There's 27, like, while not impossible on 4 foundations, if they check bad even once, like we just did, I mean, it just reduces that likelihood.
Right.
With that said, though, we've got double box floating around my babies. So any move that we decide to not interact with is certainly going to hit exceptionally hard. But we burn out really, really fast. And so if we block the ones that we float and we face take the ones that we don't float as they try to recharge back up their discard pile, then floating just didn't do anything.
Yeah. But here on the Asui side, things are gonna look, especially with like the foundation setup that's there currently. It's gonna be a lot of attacks, but effectively the turns are gonna play out very similar, or the
Right.
attacks are gonna play out very similar. Play the attack. If I have enough cards to use babies on to remove them from the game, I'm going to do that. Once I'm out of cards in hand, potentially going to use passing the torch, but I'm not touching that until a while.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of doing the same thing and pushing numbers against River and see if River is capable of responding in a way that allows them to defend themselves.
Makes sense, obviously.
Whoa.
Camera bump.
Okay, we're good.
Right. We're getting heated.
Yep.
We're jumping across the table, smacking them for 7.
So, that said, Jiro face tanks like no other. So let's see how true that remains.
On a 5. Checks a 5. Do you remember whenever we checked a 3 at the beginning of this turn? Yeah, I don't.
No.
Our whole stage is about to be ready to go.
No.
This card doesn't count as progressive. We're ready to face down. We're moving a couple cards. Yeah, it's pretty good.
That is alright.
Currently a 1 high for 6. Telegraphing. Yeah, we're gonna block it. So there's actually no reason to use the box full of babies.
Yep. Let's pop that out. You may as well flip one of the boxes for the extra damage just because you're not going to be using 2 of them a turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the draw now. Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so
And then we flip
it. Okay.
and then
I
ready
see
to
that.
do. What a splendid use of all this resource. That was so good. There's no way we blocked here, right? Or floating. Yeah, 3 high for 8. So incredibly good. Checks easy. Got 1 left in hand. Card's
Another
incredibly blockable. 4 for 6. Simple.
Yep, and those 2 that we just paid, well, let's get those back up.
Yep. What a cool 3 diff.
And this time, presumably, probably going to use loading.
It's... I don't know if we do, actually. We want to... I mean, we're drawing cards assuming we don't have the low block, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we box here... Or floating, sorry.
Floating, yeah.
Then it probably triggers the... You're so obvious to put it back to either printed speed or damage.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Well, looks like...
And if you decided to not press that button, right? Like you snuck an 8 damage and not the 6 that we're getting now, and you kept your box resource, floating resource. I'm gonna say it every time.
Yeah,
we had box full babies on the screen last time, and it was pivotal in a game. So I'm just gonna say box then floating every single time.
So we will continue face tank that, going down to 14 on the Jiro side.
I mean, unless we just have like another lashing. All right.
Sure.
Sorry,
Whatever you say.
I love this play. That's really intelligent. Yeah, sorry for the commentator curse. I didn't mean to. Sorry, River. That was my bad. To be fair, he has... It's hilarious. Remove the 3. To be fair, he has a checked He's checked absolutely abysmally on every single move that he's played this turn.
Yeah, no, Ryan's deck has definitely not been helping him be able to churn through this. And for the most part, River's just kind of been observant and Ryan trying to make it through this. So you've got another face tank here going on to 4. One more would represent a lethal.
Whip?
Yeah. Yeah.
It checks a 5.
Yeah. Feels good.
And
there's the
one
stack.
block
And
could get there. 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's possible.
Observant Student, I think, is our only out. No, it's a good symbol deck.
All right, no, that's it. We're calling it here. River scooping it up, and Ryan matching up the match 1-1 for both players.
Those cards are pretty good.
Yeah, they're decent, you know.
Yeah, get readying up 2 resources whenever we check a little pour. Kicking out cards that we don't need. There's a lot of good counterplay, and I mean the game was actually like all but one off the box, off of the back of Floating Around My Babies, giving that extra little push to force them to make decisions that weren't necessarily optimal. To think about, all right, what's coming after this? I got to deal with this thing right now. It's massive. This is a 9 damage frog lashing. I gotta only take 6.
Understandably so.
Yeah, right.
Here's the side. So presumably the go first card's coming out. The go second card's coming in.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, the things like I want to say like the You're So Obvious coming out, trying to keep us alive, did not quite work out this time. But like less defense disruption cards, more flow aggro cards, because I mean that's the goal.
All right, so this will be Jiro's first opportunity to go first in this match.
Yeah, we'll get to see. Breaking serve game 1 was really important for Jiro, but Asui gets an okay enough build and is really potent on defense. I mean, the goal here for Jiro is just to slam as many attacks as possible. Let's just get him rocking, you know. Do you ever watch Super Smash Brothers?
From time to time,
like competitively?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Super Smash Brothers Melee. And there's a competitive player whose name is Wizrobe, who plays one of the most explosive characters in the game, Captain Falcon.
Oh yeah, I love my Sea Falcon.
Plays it like a champ, hyper aggressive, constantly chasing, big, huge damage. In between every single game, he'll take, I kid you not, 4-5 minutes relaxing.
I love that.
Hanging out. We'll play a quick 3-minute game. Take just as much time.
Kick it back.
I'm here to play this game professionally. I'm down. Gives me a lot of
this vibe, just the calmness in between.
I'll kill you on turn 2. I'm gonna shuffle my deck, and then I'll pile shuffle. I'll shuffle again. We'll have a nice chat. I'm here. I'm shuffling longer than I'm playing. Big Wizrobe energy.
I love it. Yeah, it's great. I mean, and for listeners out there, the alternative is that the other top 4 match is Chris Bromley versus Travis Tangerman, the Momo Mirror.
Right.
So these players most likely can take all the time in the world that they'd like, and will probably finish before our other match.
And having seen Momo last round, I thought it was. We all thought it was important to see the other half of the bracket.
Oh, of course. I think we need to contextualize the entirety of the format.
Yeah.
So absolutely,
give the people some more choices. Talking to you, we were like if we were talking during the small break we had in the middle of the last match. If Chris Smith won his match, we had 4 unique characters in top 4 of this event. How cool and how unbelievably healthy for the format.
Oh yeah,
so good,
and a lot of varying styles of gameplay. I mean, you have your heavy control decks, you have your aggro decks, and then you have your combo oriented decks as well. So there's a lot of options out there. You have your mid-range decks. It just goes to show that as far as predictions go, myself and Tam aren't going to get anything right today because we just got updates from the production team that Chris Bromley actually 2-0 Travis.
That's been my whole day, man. This guy's not even playing Ice Storm. Is Ice Storm not even a good card? Proceeds to block with Ice Storm.
For context, we actually have one more hour we're allowed in this stadium before we get kicked out. So I guess Bromley just took it upon himself. He said, bet I will be on stream.
Yeah.
And of course, congratulations to both players who had just wrapped up their match. Travis for playing excellently, consistently performing regional after regional. And of course, Bromley stepping up to, I believe, his first regional finals.
Correct. I am both Unfun Stuff sponsored players. Happy for the boys. But we've got some craziness happening in this game.
Mm-hmm.
River went first, but there are two foundations in Asui's stage because of Ready, Get, Set, Go. And a really important thing, Jiro has checked one of the Plus Ultra Pack cards of compression weights.
Yeah.
Which is truly a silver bullet for the Frog. It says response remove, pick a card in your rival's card pool. It can't leave. She cannot hop it out of the card pool. So she has to play on progressive difficulty. It's essentially like an asset version of Faith Shield that you don't even have to block with. It's just, I'll remove this.
Yep.
And with Jiro's ability to use Unwavering Slash to just build it in, Nostradamus of the game, with Jiro's ability to just build it in, it means that it's going to be significantly harder for Asui to find this turn to kill.
Yeah, 100%. That said, though, also starting the game with the race set go to now build up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foundations on turn 1. Seems pretty good for a 7-hander to build 7, still have 3 cards in hand.
Especially a 7-hander that is going for your throat as soon as they're legally allowed to play attacks. Yeah, it feels good. But it says, Jiro says, yo, I need you to actually play with a little progressive, though, right? Like, if I gotta have cards in my card pool, you're gonna have cards in your card pool. Discard and then draw. I love this play. I love this play so much. So we have 3 copies of Prepared for Battle. Prepared for Battle says commit, discard a card, draw a card. That card says that if I do decide to just face tank what's happening here, I get to sculpt 3 bonus cards. I get like 3 bonus review steps before anything happens. And that's what it looks like it's gonna. Yeah. Ryan said, "I dare you to try and kill me. I dare you." I'm going to get to see whatever foundations that I necessarily need, and he's got the resources to really defend himself, right?
Yeah.
He's got the encouraging training partner to say, I get 1 block, 1 that matters.
Sometimes you just need the one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these aggro characters that just face tank just show that you just need to do the one crucial block at the right time.
Correct.
Oh. It's costly.
Could you imagine not blocking this turn and going into turn 2 with double lashing? Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd review the VOD to make sure the shuffling was good. You got to turn 2 both times, huh?
All right, so we got a flash attack here coming through.
Yeah, one of those things that I think is exceptionally important as finding River's big success is he's really digging into this flash pack. We've seen a lot of Staff Strike decks that are like down to like pump the enhanced step. But sometimes, hey, 4 low for 6, that's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, they recognize that it's just really good pump, and sometimes that's all you need. You just need those numbers to get there. So, opting to fail the check here, presumably just using it as an extra review step. Effectively, I believe Ryan hasn't indicated the damage on his life yet, but he would be pushed down to what?
We'll take 3.
Yeah.
So, it was.
He took it all. So
it took it all.
So it should be at like 15 or something like that.
It was for 6. We'd be at 14.
Yeah, there you go. All right, and looks like the 2 check. Played some for funsies yesterday. Could not for the life of me not check the 2-check on turn 1.
Oh no!
It was great. It was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh no! Our producer laughing. Man, triple specialist feels pretty good, huh?
It's pretty decent.
This is interesting. So we decided to use the compression waves to force down the amphibious and say that, while this card's committed, that card's committed. Saying essentially, I care less about you not having cards in your card pool, and I care more about you not readying that card during the ready step. I don't know if I love that play because I'm pretty sure that Crow and Frog Takedown gets around compression. I think compression will ready it. I'm not actually positive the ruling.
Oh, you're using it here.
Can we change screens just a little bit so I can see compression, so I can read it? Response after your attack deals damage. Choose one committed rival foundation. While this card is committed, the chosen foundation cannot be readied. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, just straight up locks it down. Yeah.
Wowzers, that's really, really cool. Then I was expecting the bottom response of after an attack is played, the card can't leave the card pool. I thought the +1 progressive, like locking down this. That ability is play ball committed. After an attack is played, it can't leave its own card pool during the combat phase. Play ball committed. Interesting. So we can release the amphibious to lock down a card in the card pool instead.
Fascinating.
Neat. What? Truly a silver bullet for this character as long as you can land a hit. Obviously amphibious is the best target.
Gonna clog up the card pool a little bit.
Looks like we might have checked a 3 on this whip. Committed a card, discard a card, draw a card, question mark. We've got 3 committed foundations, and I'm not 100% sure how. Opts to take the 5 down to 22. So we have blocked with a lashing, and we checked a lashing. So the idea of having additional lashings, I mean, if we have both, that's crazy. If we've got one, that's unlucky for River.
Yeah. More likely than not, they should statistically still be in the deck.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, there we have it.
Looks like we're stopping here. So River living to see another day.
There's the 3rd lashing. These are important things to keep track of as you're playing the game of what have you seen, what have you checked, what attack zones do they have, so I know, what block zones do I keep?
Yeah, very relevant here. I mean, if anything, 3 out of the 4 are gone. River's in a position to feel a little bit more comfortable in regards to how much high block they're incentivized to keep.
And we've got we've still got that silver bullet of the ultra compressed weights to, if I hit you, I'll lock down that amphibious and you'll stay at the foundation count that you're supposed to have. No re-readying, no hopping things out of the card pool. It's there. I think review draw a fresh 6. Then you got to figure out what to do. A lot of defense on River's board, not a lot of offense, but Jiro does kind of take care of that a bit herself, right? Giving +1/+1 to most things. We'll just have to see what matters as it pulls out. I mean, the most bread and butter combo we've seen River do so far is Haymaker, Foundation, create Capture Net, right? 4/5 stun 2.
No, we just didn't find it, I guess. Yeah, it looks like we drew gray.
Have 3 draw. But we've got draw 2 more cards in our hand. Why is our ultra compressed weight should be committed? Or our ultra compressed weight should be ready?
Yeah, it's probably just a miss. Probably they'll reset the game state probably when it'll come into play. Yep, so relaxing at 10 each on both sides. So someone's going to have to commit something to aggression or potentially just go into deadlock.
So the big deadlock threats that both players have that I've seen is Ryan has access to Observant Student, which can, if we've bounced a card out of our card pool, gets to just draw a free card into our hand at a commit cost. So we commit it, we flip it, and then re-ready Asui. Or River has the card that's actually in their momentum that is deadlock response. After you play this card, draw 2. So we turn our 6 Ancestors character into an 8 Ancestors character. Exceptional. How good?
Extra gas is good. We're in a tank here. Okay. Throwing off a frog kick.
This is the slowest frog kick of all time. This is a -1 low. She's so slow in the water.
Yeah.
Kicking that shark man in the face. Yeah. But if we decide not to interact with the card, which we're telegraphing that we are, the next move gets +3 speed. So +5 total with whatever Asui's doing. As well as readying cards back up. It's kind of like our own version of Unwavering Slash, right? Unwavering Slash, if I've got the asset ready, as this card says, if I'm Asui, I ready.
Yeah.
It's got to kick it from my card pool. We'll say though, I mean, this card's really neat. In a different character, Air Gran Torino gets to utilize this ability. If they block the kick, you build it down, ready a card.
Right.
Yeah, it's neat. You can't ready itself because as it hits the transit zone or as it's moving, it'll ready and then it'll come in committed. But a lot of neat interactions. From here, we're giving it, looks like +2/+2. How are we?
So we got the
we put it to 4 speed with the encouraging training partner.
Yeah.
I looked down for just 1 second. He said, I am down for this thing to have encouraged training partner to have said, make it faster and stun 1, right? Because you used your resource. I have 9 more foundations I got to chew through, including 3 other specialists of sounds. We're in a position where if they want to block something,
They
want to block something, they can. We're putting a lot of resources into this frog kick. Is this just a poke? Put him to a little life a little lower. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Even back up the game, 14-15. Build pass? No shot. No shot. We need to keep checking attack cards. Obviously. There's a face down over there that probably should. I wonder if so here's why making sure that you maintain good board state is important, because that asset is still committed. It's possible that Ryan just might not know that he's allowed to ready the amphibious. Obviously not, but like making sure that your game state is as clear as possible.
Oh, of course, yeah. Just because sometimes those things slip, and then you go into autopilot mode,
right?
And the way that things are indicated just kind of like make you overlook them.
For sure. I mean, we had like slight rulings yesterday, right? Like there was in the round 2, Summon Dark Shadow says, while this card is in your card pool, your attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. What happens when Summon Dark Shadow gets discarded from the card pool? The stats stay. It just has to be there so that while it exists, the rest of your attacks. But the effect is triggered. It's already happened. You don't get to take that away once the card leaves.
Right.
And so because it says while it's in the card pool, people think when it's gone, the stats leave. That's not true. But it's little things like that.
Nuances.
Yeah. But the compression weights had to ready as a game state at the beginning of the turn, which means it unlocked that amphibious, even though River doesn't have it ready currently on the board. So this is a 6 high for 7 hung schmack. Drew us a bonus card. Hits for 7.
We're just taking it.
We're taking it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our character ready foundations. I think we have 6 cards in our hand. Play 1 smack, play 1 kick, draw a bonus card. So if we felt like we needed to draw more gas, we would have committed passing towards the last turn, which tells us we have an attack in our hand. The question here is, man, just kidding. We have so many cards in our discard pile.
Yep.
We are totally chill to
Just keep on sending it.
burning those floatings. We're just waiting for Ryan Field to make a decision. We're in between a couple of forms.
Okay, I
ready, get
guess
set, go.
Want to draw?
And then redraw.
Drew into orange, I believe. Oh,
he was calculating. He counted his attacks and said that there's supposed to be attacks there.
I guess. Yeah, so now we're using Jiro. Wait a minute.
I'm so incredibly confused on what just happened.
I'm
gonna go look.
Yeah, maybe just get the insight on why. So we're just a little bit confused as to why River got the opportunity to look at Ryan's deck. We got the scoop.
The judge has said it's fine. River thought we were still in the enhanced step, even though we took the damage. But that's the ruling that the judge gave. So I'm not gonna push back on it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So we got another frog kick coming in. This could be representing lethal, I believe. 5, 6, 7, 8, if we haven't used it already. This is pretty spooky. But if we counted right and we were so determined, right? It wasn't even like there's a 50-50 chance that there's an attack. It was probably we drew a card and there was an attack guaranteed.
Right. I think he was popping off. I think from what we saw, the rest of it were foundations. So he was just hype, I guess. I mean, hey.
Yeah.
When you run the numbers.
Correct. But the thing is like with those floating around my babies gone, we have looks like roughly 10 cards left in our deck. We don't get the cycle again.
Yeah. Using those are a little bit painful.
Right. Discard the smack from the card pool. Choosing to flip and then re-ready Asui. We check on a 5, right? We play another 4 diff, check a 5. We're allowed to I think, commit Asui in order to pass the check.
How to do we go? You keep going?
Even on a 6, right? We on a 5, 6, checks a 5. Let me just commit Asui, right?
I mean,
either one's fine,
yeah.
right? We'll ready a new card. We'll go with the minus.
Response, slow
Speed.
down.
Ready passing, draw passing.
It's crucial. We're down to just barely holding on. And River holding on to their hand very tightly here. See if we end up seeing a passing the torch to draw maybe an out that's just not available to them right now. There's the kick, and we will get a passing potentially coming back up. We'll see here. Ooh.
Decides already a face down.
Oh my, I didn't even see those face downs up there.
Interesting. I also did not until we put him over.
Yeah, I thought there. I thought
we worried about.
I thought Ryan only had one left. Okay, Ryan can keep on going.
Oh, yeah, we had the 10
Yep.
cards, right? That makes sense.
Okay, this completely recontextualizes this board state for
Yeah. Why are we waiting? Just swing.
me. All right, we're just making sure.
We're calculating. We're doing math.
Yeah, the trigonometry is floating in the air.
I can smell it. So crazy that the Momo mirror finished before this, huh?
Right?
We can see why now.
Yeah.
Right? Calculated aggression. Move the block to the high block.
Pretty good.
And it was successful. We got one more.
The way Ryan picked up his hand, I feel like he does. There's another
We're
one.
gonna 5, 6, or 5, excuse me, 3, 4, 5. Get to ready a different card. Put it up over it next to the pile. Name attack. We get to pick it up, but that is the wrong zone. Commit, choose to kick. The reason to kick here is to put more cards in our disco pile in case we are forced to cycle again.
Mm-hmm.
Commit to draw. I mean, this is going to do. I mean, we have to find the attacks on partial. Commit and draw. We cannot re-ready the passing the torch now. Yeah. Opting not to. He must have re-readied it already at one point this round,
Right.
probably with a frog kick. So good on Ryan. Remember that. Once again, if you've re-readied a card, turn it upside down. All right, turn it 180 so that you know. Put a die on it. Put some sort of counter.
All right. Needs to block. Everything needs to be blocked.
Back alley.
And we do hit it. So we hit exactly
There
what
it
we
is.
need.
We
What's the
need
follow-up?
one more?
Is there... Yeah, that's
And
it. There's the lashing. And that's that. So Ryan taking it over River.
Oh, he keeps playing in answers. He keeps going. He's dead. He's already dead. Just slam it as much as we can. Well, congratulations to Ryan Field.
Yeah,
on,
100%.
taking this down. The handshake happens. Great stuff and good play from River having the know-it-all, especially in that game one, breaking serve, beating against the winning out against the Titan of Asui in game one.
Oh yeah,
but the frog comes due.
Yeah,
the frog comes.
It's time to pay the frog.
Right.
No, Ryan, maneuvered exceptionally well. Played some really, across the board, played all three games really solid, but, games 2 and 3 putting Jiro just on an incredible back foot, going ready, set, go into build 7. Like, okay, that's cool.
Absolutely.
That's nice. And then just finding the lashing time after time and really being able to apply a lot of pressure, just too much for Jiro to be able to deal with.
For sure. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a small break, jump over